The first strike. The sky tore open without warning. One moment, the world was spinning as it always had. Cities alive with traffic, chatter, routine. The next, the clouds burned red as orbital lances of energy screamed down from low orbit, carving trenches through skyscrapers and turning metropolises into graveyards. New York, Shanghai, Delhi, Sao Paulo. Gone in minutes. The message came next. Cold, precise, transmitted through hijacked satellites and broadcast systems across the globe. Your extinction is logical. You are inefficient. Accept non-existence. Captain Maya Reyes crouched beneath the collapsed roof of a military bunker in the Colorado Rockies, eyes fixed on a cracked monitor still flickering with the alien signal. Her knuckles were blooded, not from combat, but from digging survivors out of rubble. Civilian, soldier, didn't matter. Everyone who could still breathe was a fighter now. They're not just attacking, she muttered. They're erasing us. Beside her, Dev Patel, a former NASA systems engineer turned resistance tech, tapped furiously on his salvage tablet. His dark hair was matted with dust and sweat, but his eyes burned with quiet fire. Energy signatures off the charts. Whatever tech they're using, it's way beyond us. No propulsion signatures, no ion trails. It's like their ship's just to pay. Reyes stood and stepped over a dead comms officer. Half the base was gone, vaporized in the first strike. The rest was falling apart. But Reyes didn't shake. She never had. Afghanistan. Mars skirmishes. The failed Europa colony defense. She had seen what happened when you froze. Their mistake was thinking we'd break, she said. We don't break. We get mad. Above them, the shriek of a Varnock scout drone sliced through the air. Reyes grabbed her rifle and motioned for silence. The remaining squad, barely a dozen ragged soldiers, stilled like statues. The drone hovered, scanning the area with a sickly green light. It was sleek, angular, alien efficiency in motion. It paused. A heartbeat passed. Then it zipped away toward the eastern ridge. Reyes exhaled slowly. That was too close. Dev muttered, I give it 6 hours before they send in a ground cleaner. Then we've got 5 to make ourselves invisible, she replied, and 1 to make them bleed. She turned to her squad. Blooded, exhausted, terrified, but alive. Listen up, Reyes barked. They came thinking we're weak, uncoordinated, primitive. They think humanity is just noise on the edge of their maps. She pointed toward the sky, where flickers of alien craft patrolled with impunity. They forgot one thing. We are the apex species of a death world. We've survived plague, famine, world wars, and we did it all with our bare hands. You think a few flying tin cans are gonna stop us? Silence. Then, a soldier laughed. Another followed. Grim smiles broke out beneath bruised faces. Reyes grinned back. Good, because we're done hiding. From here on out, we hit back. Smoke and steel. The cave reeked of oil, ozone, and sweat. Deep beneath the Rockies, the survivors had carved out a makeshift bunker in an old NORAD tunnel, half-forgotten Cold War relics now serving as humanity's last line of defense. Captain Maya Reyes stood over a workbench littered with alien tech, sparks flying as Dev Patel pried open a Varnock drone core with a modified blowtorch and a screwdriver. Human tools against alien steel. Improvised warfare at its finest. You're really trying to hotwire that thing? Reyes asked. Dev didn't look up. Call it what it is, aggressive recycling. A sudden burst of static made the comms table rattle. Base Camp 6, a voice crackled. Enemy scouts moving along Southern Ridge, 5 minutes out. Reyes grabbed her rifle. We hold the entrance. No more retreats. In the last 2 weeks, they'd gone from scattered survivors to organized resistance. Not because they had the firepower, but because they had something the Varnock didn't understand. Adaptation. The aliens fought by data, logic, and pre-written protocols. Humans fought with desperation and dirty tricks. That imbalance was starting to tilt. Reyes met her squad at the blast door. Just a few ex-soldiers, a mechanic, 2 medics, and 1 high school chemistry teacher who had become terrifyingly good at making homemade explosives. They set the trap quickly. Flammable gel spread along the tunnel floor. Pressure mines rigged to discarded alien armor. A few of Dev's hacked drones whirred to life, their targeting routines rewritten in basic, of all things. Here they come, whispered a Lucette. The Varnock scouts entered, 7 feet tall, gleaming exosuits, plasma rifles humming with cold menace. But they walked straight into the kill zone. A click, a flash, fire filled the tunnel. Alien screams cut through the roar. Reyes opened fire through the flames, her bullets slamming into armor seams. The others joined in, the tunnel echoing with gunfire, fury, and sheer human rage. 30 seconds. That's all it took. When the smoke cleared, 5 alien bodies lay smoldering. Reyes approached one, crouching beside its corpse. Its eyes were still open, glassy, inhuman. There was no fear, just confusion, as if it couldn't compute how it had died on a primitive planet. They are starting to notice, Dev said, joining her. Interference is growing. Their algorithms are adapting. Then we'll just adapt faster, Reyes replied. That night, they dissected the alien rifles, pulled apart plasma cores, studied field generators. They rewired power packs to run on old generator parts and figured out that Varnock armor, while strong, could be punctured by tungsten carbide tips from mining drills. Reyes pinned a torn Varnock insignia to the wall above the planning table. A crude map of resistance cells across the world stretched beneath it, hand-drawn, marked in red. This is how we win, she said. Not with more firepower. With grit. With guts. With rage. Dev looked at her and smiled faintly. Smoke and steel, how? Reyes nodded. Smoke, steel, and the kind of stubborn that scares the stars. Blood and fury. The resistance was no longer just surviving. It was spreading. From scorched farmlands in Kansas to the shattered towers of Berlin, whispers of victory moved like wildfire. For the first time since the invasion, hope took root. Not because the Varnock were weakening, but because humanity refused to die. Captain Maya Reyes stood on a cliffside overlooking the charred ruins of Denver. Her hands gripped a pair of binoculars, eyes locked on a Varnock dropship lowering toward the city outskirts. It carried a command node, one of the alien species' mobile hubs. If they could take it out, they'd cripple the enemy's coordination across the Western Front. Dev Patel crouched beside her, wiring together a box of scavenged tech, alien batteries, and what looked suspiciously like a kitchen timer. I call it the Mule, he said, tightening a bolt. Delivers 10 kilotons of hell when it rings. Reyes smirked. You've got a dark sense of humor. You say that like it's a bad thing. Below, resistance fighters, civilians turned guerrilla soldiers, moved into position. Reyes' squad had grown. They now had a sniper from Alaska, an ex-firefighter who dual-wielded sawed-off shotguns, and even a teenager who hacked alien comms with a jailbroken phone. On my mark, Reyes said, eyes narrowing. The trap was textbook human chaos. They planted explosives in abandoned cars and buried signal jammers under asphalt. But the brilliance lay in the bait, a simulated human radio signal set to play fragments of panicked conversations. A trap designed to draw out the Varnock's obsession with order. The aliens took it, hook, line, and arrogance. The first dropship deployed a unit of enforcers. They advanced in perfect formation, scanning for threats. That's when the road exploded. As concrete and flame tore the air, Reyes gave the order. Hit them hard. The hillside erupted in gunfire and smoke. Human fighters surged forward like a wave of fury. Reyes led the charge, firing with precision, her boots pounding dirt soaked in ash. One alien raised a shield, its plasma rifle whining to full charge. Reyes dove, rolled, and came up behind it, slamming a combat knife into the base of its neck, an armor gap they'd learned to exploit. Blood, thick, violet, and hissing, sprayed the ground. The command node shuddered under the assault. Dev's mule, hidden beneath a pile of debris, beeped once. Then detonated. A dome of light swallowed the dropship. The shockwave flattened trees and sent alien bodies tumbling like broken toys. Silence followed. Then came the message. A single Varnock transmission crackled through intercepted channels, broadcast in a desperate burst. They are not compliant. Their rage is strategic. Reyes stared at the smoldering wreckage. "Damn right it is," she muttered. She turned to her blooded, cheering squad and raised her fist. "This is how we win. Not because we're stronger. Not because we're smarter. Because we refuse to lie down. And when something refuses to die, it learns how to kill." We are the storm. Rain lashed the scarred earth as the final offensive began. Captain Maya Reyes stood atop a ridgeline, soaked, bruised, and burning with purpose. Below her sprawled the Varnock Central Fortress, half machine, half organic, pulsing with blue light. The last major command post on Earth. If it fell, the aliens would lose their grip on the planet. Behind her, hundreds of resistance fighters waited in silence. No more uniforms, no flags, just survivors with rifles, scavenged armor, and fury burning in their veins. Reyes keyed her radio. "All units, this is it. We take that base, or we die trying." A pause. "Either way, we make damn sure they remember Earth." The signal went out, and hell came down. Improvised artillery hammered the Varnock walls. Mortars built from gas cylinders. Drones reprogrammed to dive bomb with all jet engines. From the air, it didn't look like an army. It looked like chaos. And that was exactly the plan. Inside the fortress, the Varnock were unraveling. Their data networks were scrambled, their protocols failing to adapt to the unpredictable ferocity of human tactics. The resistance moved like a swarm. No pattern, no logic, just relentless momentum. Reyes and Dev charged the southern breach with their squad. Plasma bolts scorched the air. Reyes ducked behind a fallen turret, yanked the pin on a homemade EMP grenade, and hurled it into a cluster of alien troops. The explosion fizzed, and the aliens froze, shields failing, armor flickering. She didn't hesitate. She ran straight through them, carving a path with bullets and grit. By the time they reached the core, only Reyes, Dev, and two others remained. The heart of the Varnock command structure towered before them, a crystalline engine humming with power, the size of a cathedral. Dev stayed at it, breathing hard. "This whole thing's running off a quantum cascade. If we overload it." Reyes handed him a pack of fusion charges. "Make it melt." As Dev got to Wyke, Reyes held the entrance with her rifle, mowing down Varnock reinforcements. They came in waves, but she didn't retreat. Not an inch. Her side bled. Her arms ached. But her heart burned like wildfire. Dev finished rigging the charges. "That's it. We need to go." "No," Reyes said, eyes still on the chaos outside. "You go. I hold them." "Don't be a hero, Maya." "I'm not. I'm angry." Dev nodded. No arguments. Just understanding. He sprinted down the corridor, vanishing into smoke. Minutes later, the fortress erupted. A shockwave flattened everything within miles. The sky turned white. The last Varnock command ship, orbiting high above, began to rise, but never made it. Ground-based scavenged railguns, cobbled from scrap and fury, tore it from the sky. The war was over. The Varnock retreated, not defeated by superior firepower, but by something they couldn't quantify: wrath, will, and a refusal to be erased. Weeks later, from a bunker deep in the Yukon, a lone Varnock transmission pulsed through space. "Do not return to Earth. It is not a world. It is a warning."